Assalamu alaikum students. Today I'm going to be reading chapter 11 of grade 7's textbook, Understanding History. The name of the chapter is Muslim Revival in the 18th and 19th Century, and the book is by Ismat Riaz, Understanding History. So let's read the chapter together. By the middle of the 18th century, Mughal power was no longer a reality, and Muslims were facing a serious challenge to their survival as a religious community in the subcontinent. At such a time, Muslims turned to the path of inner renewal of their faith to survive. And in this context, leaders like Shah Waliullah, Sayyid Ahmad Shahid Barelvi, and Haji Shariatullah left a lasting legacy culminating in the movement for a separate Muslim state, Pakistan. So let's briefly look into the contributions of these three leaders. Let's begin with Mujaddid al-Sani, whose period was from 1564 to 1624. Akbar's deviation from mainstream Islam caused a reaction amongst the ulama and learned Sufi saints of his time. As you know, that Akbar had evolved a religion named Deen-e-Ilahi, and he used to hold meetings with religious scholars from different religions in Fatehpur Sikri. And since he deviated from mainstream Islam, it caused a reaction amongst the ulama and the learned Sufi saints of that time period. And the foremost amongst these were Khaja Baqi Billah, the founder of Naqshbandiyai order. His most gifted disciple was Sheikh Ahmad Sirhindi, who came to be known as Mujaddid al-Sani, which means revival of Islam. Sheikh Ahmad was born in Sirhind, which is the Mughal capital of eastern Punjab. In 1599, he came to Delhi and met Khwaja Baqi Billah, and staying on, he joined the Naqshbandiyai order. He was a gifted writer and used that ability to convey the message of reviving Islam and convincing Muslims to fulfill their duties towards their religion. He addressed many letters to the nobles of Akbar's rule. Among them were Sheikh Farid, Khan-e-Azam, Sadr-e-Jahan, Khan-e-Jahan, Abdul Rahim, Khan-e-Khana. Sheikh Ahmad's letters left a deep impression on the people of his time, and a religious revival took place with far-reaching results. In time, Aurangzeb's return to Orthodox Islam can be traced back to Sheikh Ahmad's efforts. During Jahangir's rule, Sheikh Ahmad was called to the Mughal court for an explanation of his beliefs. According to the etiquette prescribed by Akbar for anyone coming into the royal presence, he had to bow in sajda before Jahangir. Sheikh Ahmad refused to bow before a human being, as he said that the sajda was only for Allah. Jahangir imprisoned him in Gwalior jail for this disobedience, but he was released a year after. Mujaddid al-Sani's influence in the revival of Islam can be compared to that of Shah Waliullah and Allama Iqbal in later times. Shah Waliullah, 1703 to 1762. Shah Waliullah was born 4 years before the death of Aurangzeb. His father, Shah Abdul Rahim, was a theologian and interested in the mental sciences. He had assisted in the compilation of Fatwa-e-Alamgiri, which is called the Code of Islamic Law, prepared at the court of Aurangzeb. Shah Waliullah was educated in his father's Madrasa al-Rahimiyya in the disciplines of tafsir, hadith, mental sciences, and also logic and philosophy. Shah Waliullah saw the political decline of the Mughals and responded to that by a call to religion and teachings of the Quran. He felt that the Muslims had moved away from the teachings of Quran and lacked understanding, so he translated it into Persian, which was the official language of the Mughal Empire. He wrote 54 books on different aspects of Islam and tried to unify the different Muslim sects to make the Muslim community stronger. His book, Hujjatullah al-Baligha, refers to the religious, moral, social and economic causes of declines of Muslims in India. In the area of political power, he invited Ahmad Shah Abdali to come and save the Muslim nation from its enemies and defeat the growing power of Marathas. Sayyid Ahmad Shahid Barelvi, 1786 to 1831. Shah Waliullah's influence extended to the whole of the subcontinent and managed to give guidance to other reformers who followed him. These devoted followers taught and trained a large body of men who took their learnings to all parts of the subcontinent. About the same time, a revival of Islam took place in Bengal under Haji Shariatullah. Sayyid Ahmad from Bareilly in the northern India had attended Shah Waliullah's seminary in Delhi and followed his teachings. Later, he joined the military service of Nawab Amir Khan, the ruler of the state of Tonk, as a soldier and prayer leader. Sayyid Ahmad left for Makkah to perform Hajj, and after spending 1.5 years in Arabia, he returned to Delhi in 1822 with a clearer vision of jihad that his mission would be to take up arms to fight for Muslim rights. His preachings as a religious leader led him to Rampur, where the Afghans complained him of the sufferings of Muslims under the Sikh rule in Punjab. Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi is buried in Balakot, where his tomb has miraculously survived the earthquake of October 2005, which flattened the town. Sayyid Ahmad's influence continued in the anti-British movement led by the Mujahideen in the northwest frontier region and in Bengal in the east, where Haji Shariatullah led the movement to revive the teachings of Islam. So, end of the chapter, there are questions. Who was Mujaddid al-Sani? Who was Shah Waliullah's? What was his role in the revival of Islam? What was Sayyid Ahmad Shahid Barelvi's response to the Sikh opposition? And how did Haji Shariatullah serve the cause of Islam in Bengal? All these are pretty straightforward questions, and they can be responded to by merely scanning through the pages from page 73 to page 78 of your textbook. So lastly, let's discuss briefly Haji Shariatullah, whose period was from 1781 to 1840. Haji Shariatullah was born in Faridpur district of Bengal and received his early education at Calcutta. He spent many years in Arabia and was influenced by the teachings of Sheikh Abdul Wahab, who believed in following the basic principles of Islam. Once on his return, he founded the Faraizi movement. He lived a pious and exemplary life and worked for the spiritual revival of Muslims of Bengal till his death in 1840. The study of these religious movements show that the common Muslim population was becoming aware of the problems they faced on all sides. The roots of the Pakistan movement are often traced to the two-nation theory given by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, which held that Hindus and Muslims are two separate nations with separate beliefs, separate religions, separate cultures, and therefore they should have their own homeland. Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi and Faraizi movement had also stirred feelings of a distinct Muslim identity. When Allama Iqbal addressed the All India Muslim League Convention at Allahabad in 1930, he said, One lesson I've learned from the history of the Muslims is that at critical moments in the history, it is Islam that has saved the Muslims and not vice versa. With this, we have come to the end of the chapter. Let me know if you have any questions. We can discuss them in the lesson. Thank you very much, and do not forget to subscribe and like the channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.